My name is Azubike, calling from Ojilo Shodi.
Okay, hello Azubike, how are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. Talk to me.
I missed you last week.
I missed you too.
But I have the reason that you have brought on air.
Yes.
Make us miss you.
But didn't Zainab do a fabulous job?
You see, one thing with Nigeria info is that we miss somebody.
Yeah.
The person that we see.
Yeah.
You will just be like that is a particular person. That are listening to her show or his show.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I so much like Nigeria info. So they have a very world-class journalist.
Yes, we do. Thank you. Thank you.
So welcome.
Thank you. So tell me, epilepsy.
See, let me tell you about this epilepsy of a thing. I have witnessed a lot of them because where I'm living before, we have one of them there. So when I'm in my childhood, I have a lot of friends in that particular place that epilepsy is living. So when we get there, but I don't know anything about epilepsy. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So when I get there, I will not be talking with the epilepsy to somebody. So we'll be talking. After talking, he will not be gisting us. Then I could not be able to ask him any question. What makes your condition to look like that? Are you getting me?
Yeah.
But I'm just catching phone and looking. So maybe it's an internal sickness or whatever.
Yeah.
So when we are just discussing with my friends, I'll be watching that particular person. So when he thinks that I'm watching him, he'll be shaking his head. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So I'm just be watching. So and I always go message to that particular person. Whenever anytime you send me a message, I will go. That myself, sometimes I used to wash his clothes then. So when I wash it, I will just dry it. When you send me to that bring it, I will bring it. So anybody that is having such a condition, I don't see it as a witchcraft or whatever.
No.
It's a problem that just came.
It's a brain disease.
Yes.
It's a brain disease. Thank you, Azubike.
Not discourage that kind of people. Let us be closer to those type of people. Because if you are closer to them, you're talking with them, they will live longer than what people expect.
That's them. Right. That's right. Thank you so much, Azubike. Let's pick up more calls. Hello.
Yeah, let me go straight to the subject.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
My mother, grandson that grew up with us suffered this thing. Then my mother will be the only one to grab him, or he'll be foaming from the mouth. So eventually, he took the boy to a native doctor. The native doctor gave him medicine. My mother said he saw the native doctor. That after he has addressed sugar cane, he matched it in the mortar, bring out the water. But she didn't know what she added. But what she added was smelling. That is alligator pepper. And then gave it to the boy to drink.
Okay.
So that native doctor is a spiritualist. So he find out from the spirit realm that it's not attack from the witchcraft, but that the boy, we do not give the boy enough food and fruit. So we always depend on eba and pounded yam. So it does not give out the fluid to accelerate blood to the brain. So when the brain lacks a sufficient blood, the body will not be able to carry along.
Yeah.
So that is why such a sickness is like that.
Thank you.
My
Go
mother
ahead.
cannot continue going there. He recommended this ugba. I don't know what they call it in English.
Ugba, that's garden egg.
They be like butter share.
Yes, shea butter. Garden egg is ugba, or shea butter is ori.
They have the big one. They call it. I don't know what they call it in English.
Okay.
So and then he will dice it with unripe pawpaw, then grate it, and then mix it with a little fish so that boy will eat it. Then he will mix the what they call this garden egg, our native.
Yeah, garden egg, ugba.
Yeah, he will dice it. and then mix it enough with fish so that boy will eat it. I think the three main thing is the mixing of unripe pawpaw graded, and then that's the native uba shell. Is wild.
Is the boy still alive?
Yeah, the boy is alive. We grown up just after 1 month.
Wonderful.
The whole thing disappeared. He never suffer it again.
Wonderful. Tell the boy I said congratulations. Tell the boy I said congratulations. And well done to your grandmother. Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Omagwishe. I'm calling from Ajegule.
Okay, go ahead.
I have this experience. It's my brother.
Oh.
So people that are living with seats, it's very, very difficult. Because when my brother has it, almost every week he always fall down, and we are the one always facing the growth. But there is one day the thing just attack him. Then we tried our best from that midnight till daybreak, but he finally gave up. Something like that.
So sorry.
So, but I think there is cure if the person can always take his medicine, his drugs.
Yeah,
it always relieve him. But if you don't take drugs, that is when you think we just take your life.
That's a very good point. Yes, it can be managed. And this is the thing. We're about to go on break. I'm going to take more of your calls, but epilepsy can be managed. It doesn't have to kill. This is what's important. We'll be right back after this break.
Numbers are out, and Nigeria Info is your number one station for talk. Number one. Listen on the air and online via mobile app. Search Nigeria Info FM on Google Play Store and iOS App Store. Download the app and have us with you wherever you go. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Weeks as we have exciting things lined up to appreciate you. Things like giveaways, 10 big conversations with big names. Hey, some of your favorite OAPs will be at a location near you. Stay tuned to find out. From all of us at Nigeria Info, thank you for 10 amazing years.
On the GX show, we talk relationships, youth, teens, child-related topical issues, parenting, and anything that bothers you as a person.
There's nothing a man does, a woman does, that makes him or her automatically deserve violence or abuse.
So parenting is something that we have to be very intentional about. We get caught up in providing for our children materially, and we forget that it's more important to provide for them emotionally, spiritually, because that's what they need to get through life when we're not there.
Join Onyinyechi Ekumankama on the GX, the Generation X show, every Saturday, 10 a.m. on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Welcome back to Downfall Conversations, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
And we're back. We're talking epilepsy. We're talking... You all know what I hate most is stigma. I really resent when people are stigmatized for something that is totally out of their control, for something that could happen to any one of us. Some people don't ever have epilepsy as a child and they suddenly develop it later. If you know anyone that's had a stroke, it's possible they could develop epilepsy. So when people stigmatize, it is not my pet hate. It is one of the things that I hate and detest most in this world. It is one of those horrible, horrible human nature that we really must get away from. So today I want to raise awareness about epilepsy. What I saw last week, Friday, in my home was traumatic for me. It was traumatic for my son, but I can just imagine it was traumatic for the patient. Let's pick up more calls. Before I pick up calls, let me read some WhatsApp messages. Where are we? Epilepsy as a cure. I know of a family of 3 born of same mother. All the 3 children are epileptic in nature, and God cured them all till date, and they don't have it Jesus cured them all. God is still working if only we believe with our heart. Here's the thing where God is concerned. Nobody is doubting what God works, but God also gave us science, don't you think? God gave us the likes of Rome with his big brain, who went to learn about epilepsy, who became a doctor. It was God that gave him that brain. So God has already empowered us. He's not saying we shouldn't do what we need to do on this earth. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, surely. So yes, God can cure them. So let me tell you something. I know I have a friend, as soon as I experienced this, who told me his 2 children had childhood epilepsy and they grew out of it. Yes, some do grow out of it, but it's not a lot. Yes, it can. Notice I said can be genetic. Yes, it can be picked up more from the father than the mother. Can is the operative word there. So let's not talk God today because he's already present in my life. I don't know about yours and I don't need to prove it to anybody. I want to talk about your experience, our human experience about epilepsy. What have you experienced? Let me answer a call before I come to the next WhatsApp. Hello? Are you there? Good afternoon, Ma. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Nora Irabo. I'm calling from Bedama.
Nora, good afternoon. Talk to me. Epilepsy.
I used to have a brother and a brother.
You need to turn your radio down because there's an echo, my love. I'm so sorry, Nora. Please call back. I wanted to hear that. Hello?
Yeah. Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Aburime.
Aburime. Nice name. Where is it from?
From Ipaja Command.
No, where is your name from? Your name is not from Ipaja now.
I'm from Esan, Edo State.
Okay, it's Isan. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Call Isha. It's not Isha, please. Esan.
Esan.
Yes.
Benny, now I know how to pronounce it. Esa Abulime.
It's the British that used to call it Ishan. Now we are indigenized. So
are you trying to say as how to British kilo mean? What do you mean? What are you talking? What are you talking there? Because my pidgin is not good.
Don't worry, madam.
Abulime, talk to me.
Yeah. The issue of epilepsy. When I was very, very young.
Yeah.
I used to see people, they will rush them, they will cover them, they will say they have epilepsy. I really didn't know much about what it is. But at my adult age, I suddenly found somebody very close to me who told me point blank that he could cure epilepsy.
Okay.
And I knew somebody, a young guy of about 16, 17, who had epilepsy, was always problematic. All I did was to inform the dad of the boy and asked me to bring the guy to let them meet. I introduced both of them. And the boy was cured.
Right.
I don't know how he went about it. I remember he traveled to one of the western states, said he was going to meet the hunters, he was going to ask them for something. Well, I am a living witness that guy got cured. That is number one, though.
Okay. Number two, I need to hurry you. The lines are crazy this morning, as you can imagine, or this afternoon.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Another one, the boy was in a technical college.
Okay.
And he was suffering from epilepsy.
Yeah.
The story is that he got frustrated as his mates were making jest of him. And one day he got so bad that he went to mix up something that looked like a poison, wanted to kill himself. He drank this thing and he collapsed. Do you understand me?
Yes.
By the time he was revived, that was the end of the epilepsy. He's now a grandfather.
Congratulations to him. These are good news. Thank you, Abulime. From Isa, not Yano Ikpaja or Abulegba. Isa. I am now corrected. Let's pick up another call. Actually, before that, are you there? If you're on the call, hold on. Let me read this out. Hello, Sisi Oge of Africa. That is me, Eshegoni. But it's actually Sisi Oge of Lagos, but I'll take Africa if you're giving it. Anyway, I really missed you last week. So did I. It doesn't. So did I, Dean Naji. But Zainab did a fantastic job, though. I know she did. I got lots of messages saying she did. Some of you even want to cheat on me, Seth. I want to Zainab. But you're not going to separate us, so don't try. I had a friend who died in a pond due to epilepsy. Most people that have died is due to the stigmatization they went through. We must learn how to show care for the person living with it. Thanks for this beautiful topic. Love your show. I love you even more. And yes, this is a most important topic. I had to. There was no other topic for me this week. It had to be epilepsy, awareness, and removing the stigma. I will continue to do my media career. And the reason I went into it, and I know some of you have been on my LinkedIn profile and you're thinking, she was that before, now she's this. I'll tell you about my career another time. But the reason I went into my media is my social impact awareness activism. So I will always do whatever needs to be done to raise awareness on every single affliction, be it politically, be it socially, be it psychologically, any kind of affliction that we have, that exists, that continue to mar this beautiful, wonderful, rich, vibrant, colorful society of ours. Because I don't know about the rest of you. I already lived there. I'm back. I'm not going back. My prayer every day is, Father Lord, do not let me see a reason. Do not afflict me with a reason that I should have to go back to Obodo in Igbo land. No, no, no. Let's talk epilepsy. Hello.
Hello, ma.
Hello, ma. Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling from?
I'm Nora Irabo calling from...
Oh, Nora, there you are. You're back. Hello, talk to me.
Thank you, ma. Ma, I used to have a junior brother. He was our last born that had the same challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Right from when he was a baby, he started having all manners of sicknesses, ear problems, tooth problems. Mm-hmm. And at the age of between that around 5-6 years old, that is how the epilepsy just started. And the stigma, the reason why I'm even calling it, because of the stigma.
Yes.
We really need to look into that. People that have epilepsy they're always stigmatized by people around them. So tough. People around don't want to play with him. So I'm the only one that take care of that boy. At the time, my mother became so tired and fed up. Each time, every blessed day, once it was around evening, like 4 p.m., his body will begin to get hot. They will begin getting to test for him. So it continued like, though we lost the boy now, but that was not what actually killed him. It was Okada that hit him.
Oh, dear.
That was how we lost the boy.
Oh, dear.
I also have my stepfather also has a cousin that has the same challenge. But nobody in the family wants to relate with the guy. So it was only we. My mom had to call us and tell us that we shouldn't run away from him, that nothing will happen to us. So he only followed us to farm, stay around us. In the evening, go back to their house because nobody wants to play with him. Nobody wants to talk to him. So it's my mom that used to feed him. It's such a pathetic kind of situation. So I just pray that God will send help to as many that have that same challenge. People shouldn't run away from them. They need love and care.
Yeah.
Need love and care.
Thank you. Thank you, Nora. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Right. Let me read this message to you. In my workplace in Port Harcourt, a copper working at timekeeper fell down on Tuesday morning, just this Tuesday, from epilepsy. He sustained minor injuries on his head and was taken home after he regained consciousness. Prince from Aja, thank you for sharing that with us. Let me see if I can answer more, if I can read out more of your WhatsApp. No, go ahead. Let's answer another call. Hello. Uh-oh. Hello.
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 You spoke of how to...
Hello? Your line's cut off. Hello? Hello? Don't be afraid to talk to me. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Okechukwu calling from Iba.
Mr. Okechukwu, how are you?
I'm fine.
Excellent. Talk to me. Epilepsy.
Yeah, I'm talking about epilepsy. Yes. I had a brother He suffered this thing a long time ago. And we lost him in the year 1990. We started him as a young boy. So there's nothing that was not done to take care of it. Native, everything. That my father, out of anger, said he will never go to a native man again to take care of him. He concentrated in God. Sometimes they recommended him to one doctor in Omaya. They said the doctor said there is a vein that will cut as his neck like this.
The doctor said there is a vein.
Yes, they cut the vein at the neck. Medical doctor. They gave him some drugs. He'll be taking Tegritol. That drug is Tegritol. He was taking the drug every day. See, the thing did not stop. Out of the stigma that was attached to him in society, frustration and everything, and we are still taking care of him. He is our brother. Until he came up in 1990.
I'm so sorry.
So I don't know how the doctor managed to say it was a vein. It was cut at the neck. A medical doctor.
Wow. Where was this?
Eh?
Where? Which part of Nigeria? Umaya. Okay.
Yeah, from all over in Umaya.
Yeah.
The doctor was from Umaya. He said that he's a medical
And nobody ever went back to him?
No, nobody went back to him now. We are going back. When the thing was done, when he caught the thing, was giving him drugs, he was going back, he was changing drugs. The last drug he gave him was Tegritol. That's the drug he said he would be taking. And he's taking the drug. Maybe the thing happened like that. So
I'm so sorry.
I don't know whether now they call it this thing. They say it is a medical seizure.
Yes, it's a seizure. Yes.
Seizure, So I don't know what this is. Of course it is.
Okay, stay tuned. We'll talk about that at the end. Hello. Okay. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Tony.
Hello, Tony. How are you?
Calling from Ayobo.
Okay, talk to me.
Let me call you someone.
You want to call me someone?
I want to compliment you for the way you have been presenting your programs.
Oh.
Including the interview with Mama T.
Oh.
Yesterday. It was something else.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
That's too kind.
I have two angles to what we are discussing. Number one is scientific. And I want listeners to be mindful of this scientific reality because I got the information from a medical doctor.
Okay.
Our mothers, our sisters, they have to be careful when they are pregnant, especially during the time of delivery.
Okay.
Because a very, very badly managed obstetrics can cause a problem in the brain. It can cause lifetime seizures like epilepsy. It can also cause cerebral palsy. So, and sometimes we introduce the spiritual when we don't need it.
Yeah.
A woman having difficult labor and people are thundering prayer.
Yeah.
Enemy this, enemy that, bind cast, and the woman is dying.
Yes.
To give up.
Yes.
She should be taken to the operating theater and the baby can come out through CS.
Yeah.
Rather than wasting time because the woman may not have energy to push.
Yeah.
So I'm sounding this to guide listeners.
Yeah.
Then the other bizarre angle I came across was in December 2012. I was just servicing a vehicle. And the man passed by. We said, oh, Merry Christmas, And humorously, I got him to chat with me. And I said, where are you going? He said, he's going to treat an epilepsy person. I said, are you a medical doctor? He said, no. And then the bizarre angle, which I don't know which I'm suspect is a covenant thing, what the Yoruba will call Majemu. I'm not Yoruba. He said when this wall passes on top of somebody's mouth when he's sleeping, throughout lifetime, you'll be having epilepsy, that they used to, quote and unquote, send it. That was bizarre. And he was so sure of what he's saying, saying things like sending stroke and so on. Sometimes when people go into this kind of adventure or maybe misadventure, they enter into a blood covenant. It's just to take away one thing and replace with it another.
Thank you.
Some people may say no to that.
Yeah.
But that's my personal impression. So thank you for the way you handle your programs. I'm impressed.
Okay, I'm going to talk about, so as you dropped, keep listening. So let me tell you, you can drop the phone and I'll answer, I'll respond to what you said about when a woman goes into labor. So you're right. When I went into labor, I didn't dilate. I was in labor for ridiculous, I think 10, 15 hours, something ridiculous like that. I can't remember anymore. And here's the thing that you say about having, what you might call it, when the baby has to be cut out. One of the decisions that I had made with my partner was that if it turns out that the baby wasn't dilating enough, we would have CS. Now, of course, I didn't have my baby here. In Nigeria, they tend to speak to the husband or the partner, the male partner that's there because they think, you know, the woman can't speak, she's in pain. But in the other parts, they don't. It has nothing to do with the husband. It's the woman that makes the decision. So it's something that we had to agree. And that's what happened pre-eclampsia, is when oxygen, the baby's brain is starved of oxygen. That's what you're talking about. And it's true. Pre-eclampsia could lead to that, where the baby's brain is starved of oxygen and as a result could end up having epilepsy. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, we've
ma.
picked up. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma.
Talk to me. What's your name?
Shanumi is my name.
It's a lie. Your name is Shanumi. I love it. Hey, I'm going to be singing that all weekend. Iron you, Shanumi.
Shanumi, yes, ma.
Shanumi eledumare. My pofo. Talk to me. Let's talk. Stop. Don't mind me and my singing. Yes.
There is a caller that said just now that praying for a pregnant woman or praying...
rather than praying, just get them to a hospital. Yeah.
I want that, you know, this station normally, most of station normally go against this kind of thing. But really, I'm a Christian. I gave my life just 2009, 88. My sister was, you know, this epilepsy, I'm in Korodu.
I'm listening. Yeah, you're in Ikorodu, yes.
Yes, that place is a kind of, they believe in traditional so much.
That's my hometown. We are almost a luku meda village. Talk to me. So what are you trying to say about my people?
So they do educate us about all these things.
Mm-hmm.
When you give somebody alu, you know, he controls us. But about the prayer, man. Huh?
Yeah.
A man brought something from the waist and beat my own junior sister. The sister to a daughter to my sister with this thing, with this waistband. At Isolo Health Center, was pregnant. Though she lost the pregnancy. But anything by 12 o'clock, the thing will start. The nurse will be struggling and she will roll down.
So let me just get that straight. Somebody beat your sister with a whip, some sort of whip, and while she was pregnant, she lost the baby. And then every 12 midnight.
Yeah, every 12.
Is it 12 midnight or 12 in the afternoon?
12 midnight.
Okay, what happens?
She will just start that thing.
She will start having a seizure.
He wants to roll from bed to ground.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take note, man. Anybody that has this problem, we have anytime he wants to call that person, it will be a kind of time that it will come upon that person, and the time will not fail. Maybe it's on Tuesday. It will be Tuesday, every Tuesday week. Notice this, man.
Okay, Shanumi, keep listening. I will respond to that. Let me try and fit in as many calls. You stay listening and I will respond to that. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, talk to me. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Christopher.
Christopher.
Yes.
Saint Christopher, talk to us. Epilepsy.
Yes, I'm a witness of that kind of issue. Because of my senior sister, something like that happened to her. But when somebody mentioned Umaya, now I can't remember that issue because Nadia, my sister has his own operation and is successful. And upon that drugs they give her that time, she's always taking it and the thing is okay till now. Except now, it's reaching out to 15 years now. She come there complain headache every time. That's the only effect I see for that. But that epilepsy don't stop till now.
Okay. Thank you. Now, about one in 10 persons may have a seizure at some time in their life. So, Shanumi, I'm going to say to you, no, you see, it happens in the abroad, the Americas, the Europes. It happens in places in the Australias that's far, far, far from us, where they don't believe people beat somebody with a belt, where the epileptic attack, the seizure, can happen at any given time. My experience last week, Friday, actually disproves what you said, that it happens at a particular time. Stay tuned. I'll tell you what my experience was. Can we still fit in one more call before we go on the news? Yes, we can. Oh, turn your radio down. Are you still there?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma. How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Lovett. I'm calling from VI.
Love it, my lovely. Talk to me. Epilepsy.
I'm a first-time caller, though.
My lovely. You're even more lovely.
Thank you so much.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, so my closest experience with an epileptic person, if I can say that, was in Europe, actually. I was in a bank, and all of a sudden, this woman stopped and started turning back. She was turning, but not with her whole body, just her face and her neck. And then she had this blank stare. And I didn't understand what was happening before. And then she started to fall. She wasn't convulsing at the time. She just started with this blank stare before she fell. And then that was when I realized that it was an epileptic attack. So, you asked a question about what to do when one has an epileptic attack. So people make this mistake of trying to fit things into people's mouths, like putting a spoon or something like that to prevent them from convulsing. But that's actually a wrong thing to do because it could harm the person. If a person is having an epileptic attack, the best thing to do is to remove every tight clothing, any belt, whatever could injure the person at the time, take off anything. Because there's this study that says that most people die from the injuries they sustain when they are convulsing, not necessarily the illness itself.
There you go.
And then one of the callers said something about the attack happening at a particular time. Well, there's really nothing like that, but there's something we call aura. I'm a medical doctor, actually.
Oh, hello.
Aura.
We like doctors. You save our lives. Go ahead.
Okay, so there's something we call aura that happens before a person starts to have an epileptic attack. Sometimes they have this bad smell. Sometimes they see this flash of light. Different things. So it could be that maybe that time of day is when they experience something that leads the attack to happen. So it's not really linked to a particular time or something, but there are incidents or stuff that can precipitate, the attack happening. And then, one of the callers said something about pregnant women taking care. And truly, epilepsy is, let's say, an electrical disorder, a chemical imbalance in the brain that causes one to convulse.
That's right.
Okay, and it could be acquired or genetic.
Yeah.
And most times, what he was saying something about women being careful when they are pregnant so that they don't cause the child to have epilepsy in future. And he's right, actually. Yeah. Because if a child is oxygen deprived before birth, it could cause the child to develop epilepsy later in life. Because it could cause changes in the brain, cerebral palsy.
You are listening.
That could cause the child to have some brain disorder that could lead to epilepsy. So, as they also said, if a woman needs tears, she should go ahead. She shouldn't starve that baby of oxygen because it could predispose the child to becoming epileptic later in future. Okay, this is my first time actually of listening to your show. I listen listen to Nigerian info, but mostly in the morning when I'm going to work. I was off today, so I just decided to listen, and so far I've really enjoyed your show.
Thank
So
you.
I'll try and listen more often.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Look, you've been a great help. Literally a great help. Everything you said is exactly what I found in my research, and you've even said more than I was able to find. Thank you so much for your generosity. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay listening. Hello. 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 Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's your name?
So, I'd like to remain anonymous.
Okay. Go ahead.
My mother actually is still living with that epileptic disease, or how do I call it?
Okay.
And she started having that when she had when she was just delivered the 6th of the 9th child.
Okay.
So since then she's been struggling with that.
Mm-hmm.
But amazingly, she's living with that, and she has about 3 children afterward.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite traumatic, not just for her, but even for us, the children. Maybe it's something that whenever it happens, we are almost, traumatized, not knowing what next to do. We've tried a couple of...
How old is your mother, if I may
My mom
ask?
should be, I don't know precisely, but she should be in her 50s or 60s now.
Okay, she's in her 60s. And this this began when she had her 6th child.
Yes, and the young man is about 2022 now.
Okay, 2022.
About 20 years ago.
Okay, so has she seen a neurologist?
No, she's back at home in my hometown, Benin State.
Okay. What I would say is you need to take her to see a neurologist. Those are the only doctors that matters when it comes to epilepsy. I applaud you all for looking after her, but the best thing you can do is to take her to see a neurologist. Once she sees a neurologist, she would be put on the right medication. And I promise you, you'll see the difference. Okay? My love, my deepest love to your mother.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
No, I appreciate you more. Give her a big hug from me. Tell her she got a daughter right here. Okay? Have a good weekend. Right, I have a text message. Hi, Madam Miriti. The experience I had was on the road. I saw a beautiful young lady walking, and all of a sudden she started panicking and running. And she just fell on the ground and started shaking and foaming. My first reaction was to run towards her, and a lot of people also did also. We wanted to carry and touch her, but one man said we should leave and give her space, that she will be all right, which we all did. And after some minutes, she came through, and people brought milk for her. Not the right thing. Milk is not good for people with epilepsy. But milk for her, so I believe people have started to learn to live with people with epilepsy. Sean, thank you so much. And that's a really uplifting message. How long have we got? Are we supposed to go? I don't have any time. I've got to go on break or news headlines. I'll be right back. And when we come back, I will then tell you the full story of my experience. Stay tuned.
unlawful invasion of his residence. Yoruba self-determination group Ilana Omo Odua rejoices over court verdict ordering DSS to pay 20 billion naira in damages to Sunday Igboho, while NCDC records 7 deaths and 610 new COVID-19 infections. The FCC boss Abdul Rashid Bawa says he is well and in good shape after health scare, while Southern governors insist Nigeria's next president should come from the South. Igbonine Socio-Cultural Organization condemns IPOB's sit-at-home order, calls for government intervention. 9 killed, 23 injured in Nigerian Air Force incident in Yobe State, while in Edo, Uniben Senate approves removal of 20,000 naira late registration fee that led to a 2-day mass protest by students of the institution. On the foreign scene, South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma fails in bid to have his 15-month jail sentence overturned. Those were the headlines. It is still the Downfall Conversation with Ireti Bakare. I'm Yvonne Okaifo, and this is 99.3 Nigeria Info.
In the center of excellence. Over 40 radio stations. Strong 9 million radio audience. Nigeria Info 99.3 is officially the number one talk station in Lagos. Over 2 million radio listeners. 1.3 million online community. Starcast of broadcasters. Talk, news, and sports. We are having the biggest conversation right now. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back to Downfall Conversations, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello, we're back. So you see, we're about to turn 10. This is our 10th anniversary. So I join at the best times. Can you imagine? I'm joining when the applaud is loud, when I can help them with the party, when Sharif owes me small chops, and all of that and all of that. Anyway, so let's talk epilepsy. Now, here's the thing. Last Friday, whilst my routine on Fridays is quite simple, I'm an early riser. I get coffee. I wake up before everybody else. It's just one of those things. I think as you get older, you tend to sleep less and wake up earlier. Who knows? Maybe it's all the worries, Anyway, so I wake up. My maid brings me coffee around about 6:30, yada, yada, and I continue. I do my research ready for you guys so I can talk. I can do what I'm supposed to be doing with you, right? So I'm doing my research and everything, and my son is coming. He said, hello, good morning, yada, yada, yada. Everybody's minding their business. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what everybody else is up to. I'm busy doing my own thing. Anyway, at about 10 to 12, quarter to 12 or something like that, I get a yell, Mom, I need you now. Oh, what's happened? I thought, he's too tall. My son is very tall. I'm like, that boy is too tall. He's probably hit his head on something. I don't even know where that tallness comes from. I'm like, where are you? He says he's downstairs. Please come, Miss such and such. She's not talking. What do you mean she's not talking? I said. He says she's not talking. So I rush downstairs with my Talalantolulek. Make it down the stairs. At the bottom of the stairs, there they were. And I hold her to me. This girl isn't talking. She's not saying a word. She's weaker than a piece of silk. Extremely weak. I'm saying to her, talk to me. I'm holding her. I'm caressing her. I'm hugging her. I'm doing everything I can. And I'm saying to her, she's trying to pass out. And I said, no, you can't pass out. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. We start doing the breathing exercise. You know, that thing where you say, oh yeah, breathe. So I'm doing the breathing exercise with her. I'm doing all of that with her. She's trying. She tries for a bit. She loses her strength again. This goes on and on. At this time, I'm thinking, okay, perhaps it's some sort of psychological episode. Maybe it's a mental health episode. So I tell my son, quickly rush to get the security, the head of security, rush to get, he comes and he's helping me holding. I mean, she's really weak and we're trying to talk to her. She can't speak. Okay, go and get the doctor, my friend who's a doctor who's also our neighbor. Go and get doctor across the road. Doctor comes about 10 minutes later. Poor bloke was actually in the shower, because when he didn't come, I literally banged on his door. And he said, I'm in the shower, Ritzy, what's going on? I said, I need you in my house. Anyway, so I go back. I was still trying to talk to my maid. Please talk to us, speak, what's wrong, what happened, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, to cut a long story short, my son suggests we give her a glass of water. We give her, so he brings a glass of water and we try to give her, so she tries to take a little bit, just a tiny bit, and then she stops. Okay, so I'm like, you know what? All this time she's trying to pass out. Now, all I could think of was, I cannot let this girl pass out, because I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I need her to be awake. That's my greatest fear. So anyway, I get them to bring me a towel with cold water, and I put it on her head. Every time she tries to pass out, I use that to wake her up, and every time we're holding her, doctor comes, doctor looks at her, he checks her blood pressure, he said she seems fine. Perhaps it's something she ate, perhaps it's something she took, perhaps it's this, perhaps it's that, perhaps she's pregnant. This girl is not saying a word. We've gone some 30 minutes or so by now, and anyway, so we so he said, look, take her to her bed, let her rest for a bit, etc., etc. Oh, let her eat something. Well, at the time when my son found her, and here's where he gets interesting, at the time when my son found her, she was frying plantain for herself in the kitchen, right? So how did my son find her? He was off to his driving lesson, and he basically realized he may have left his AC on, so he calls out to her, Miss such and such, can you please help me switch off my AC? She doesn't answer, and he's like, I'm sure I can hear her frying plantain. Anyway, he goes into the kitchen, and he literally, and that's where what the doctor that just called, was it Nora? There was a doctor that called just now, the female doctor. What she said is exactly what happened in the bank. Is exactly what my son saw. He goes into the kitchen and he finds her upright, not on the floor, because we always think they're on the floor first. He finds her upright and she's kind of bent over, almost frozen. That's when he sees her. And he goes over to her and she literally falls and she's not saying anything, literally. And she was sort of over hot oil, gas, and plantain. She was actually removing the plantain when this thing happened. She was making herself plantain and indomie, that hideous food that I can't understand why people eat it. But anyway, there you go. That's what she was making for her anyway. So the doctor said, go and put her, let her lie down, yada, yada, yada. She lies down. I go back to try and get ready. Security guy leaves. Doctor leaves. My son, they've taken her to her bedroom. Like I said to you, we all live on the same floor. I don't do all that made in the backyard, whatever. I just can't bear it for me, you know. Anyway, so my son's talking to her in her bedroom. I'm trying to get ready to come here. He then comes to me and he said, oh, she spoke a bit, Mom. He recorded her, and he said, you know, he asked her, because he was convinced she had probably hit her head in the kitchen. That's why he found her, you know, kind of frozen. Maybe she was just trying to get back up at the time. So he said to her, did you hit your head? She sort of says, yes. And he starts explaining to her that, oh, you know, don't feel bad. I've walked under a ladder before. It happens to everybody. It's not your fault, yada, yada, yada. I'm listening to this recording. I'm like, okay, darling, thank you. You can go. Let me finish, get ready. Let me rush to the station. He goes off and he decides to go and check on her again. Next thing that happens, I hear my name again. He yells for me. Mom, you've got to come now. She's shaking on the floor. He finds her in her bathroom. Yeah, in her ensuite. Finds her in her bathroom, totally, basically having a convulsion, and she's naked. So he screams for me. I rush over to her. I tell him to go and get the same two people that were helping us, the security, get doctor. They come. Between all of us, we put her on her bed. That's when we realize, okay, this is much more serious. This is possibly epilepsy. Take her to the hospital. And that's the good thing. It's always so helpful to have a nice hospital. You know, you drive past all these places in your neighborhood. I knew there was a hospital down the road. Never took much notice of it. Father Lord, I've never needed them. However, the minute I needed to take her, I took her straight there. They were brilliant. I wish I could give them a call out. But if I give them a call out, then you'll know where I live, so I can't do that. But they were brilliant. Absolutely. If they're listening, they were fantastic. They took her in, put her in the treatment room, yada, yada, yada. They're asking me questions. And one of the funniest things that the doctor said to me is, does she sleep at night? I said, well, how am I supposed to know? I'm sleeping, she's sleeping. We don't share a bed. Why are you asking me all these questions? Well, little did I know. What he was asking me was, I'll keep that to the end of the story. Anyway, he says he tries to ask her questions and everything. She's still not speaking. He asks me to excuse them. I go and sit in the car with my son and our head of security, who's practically like an extended member of the family as well. Anyway, we then sit there, and then doctor comes like some 20-30 minutes later, and he said, she suffers from epilepsy. Sorry? He said she suffers from epilepsy. She had an attack before she came to Lagos. She saw a doctor. Her medication is in her room, in her bag. Please go and get it. By the way, we know she must have had one in the night. How do you know? Because she's bit her tongue. Yes, they have fits in the middle of the night. And sometimes they don't know. Which explains to me why he was asking me if she sleeps. Okay? So we go back, we get her medication. As we get her medication, we bring it to him. And he is in shock. And here's what's important. I can't remember the name of the medication, and I'm not going to say it out. That would be incredibly irresponsible of me. But I can tell you there's a big tablet and a tiny little tablet. So he looks at them and he says, my word. He went to talk to her, and she tells him she takes 2 of the big tablets and 2 of the small tablets. He calls me into his office and he said, this is insane. Who gave her this? First and foremost, the small tablet, they don't even prescribe it anymore. It is extremely rare for them to prescribe it. Why? I said, he said, because, well, it's something that people could easily get addicted to. It's extremely strong and it makes them drowsy. Aha. That explains why I'm always saying to her, why are you so awkward? Why are you always sluggish? Because it was almost like she was standing up, even when you're talking to her, like she's standing up, falling asleep. And I could never, ever understand her. After all, I don't need her in the middle of the night. What could she possibly be doing? Anyway, that explained. He said, yeah, it's because of this medication. That's number 1. Number 2 is telling her to take 2 of the big medication, and 2 of those is literally like an overdose, almost giving the opposite effect of what it's supposed to do. He talks to us for a while. She's in her treatment room, but this time her sister, who is her cousin, had come. And here's where responsibility comes in. And here's why we must never, ever stigmatize. Because when we stigmatize, what we do is we allow people to live with fear. She came to me. She did not tell me that she suffers from epilepsy. That's number 1. Number 2, her cousin who brought her from the village didn't know she suffered from epilepsy. The agent who gave her to me also didn't know. So I'm the first person that's telling them. I'd call the agent. The agent got her sister to be on her way, or the cousin. That one met us at the hospital. That one is in shock. She calls the mother. We're all in the doctor's office, and the doctor is explaining all of these things to the mother. The mother is aware, and the mother says she's already been cured. Doctor has to explain to her mother that no, she hasn't been cured. This is possibly something that she's going to live with for the rest of her life. But who gave her this medication? Doctor says. Mother couldn't answer. Said she went to a doctor in their part. I'm not going to say where because I don't want stigmatization. Went to the doctor in their village, and the doctor in some general hospital in the area, and that's what they were given. Anyway, doctor says to me, watch her for a bit, for a few days, but she's got to see a neurologist. I said, doctor, thank you very much. Doctor's about to finish his shifts. He says, okay. I'm standing there. My son comes back from the car. I'm standing there trying to pay for her medical bills, and my son goes to check up on her again. Her cousin is with her in the treatment room, and so is a nurse. My son goes to check up on her again, and he comes back and he says, she's having another fit. That was the 4th one. Remember, she had one in her sleep. He had found her in the kitchen, found her on the bathroom floor, and now she was having one as we're about to go home. So the doctor says no, the new doctor now says no, you've got to go straight to the general hospital. You've got to go and see a neurologist now, because she had never seen a neurologist before. She had just been taking this medication. This medication were in those little plastic bags, those little plastic nylons that they put medication in. There was no instructions. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. I wouldn't have known what it was. The doctor, luckily, because he's a doctor, he knows how to recognize these things. So, we put her in a cab for her to go, and General Hospital, they tell her to go to the General Hospital in Marina, that it's free. You can see a neurologist. They've written her a note which says pretty urgent, etc., etc. She goes. Now, here's what really upsets me and saddens me. For as long as we continue to stigmatize people with epilepsy and other ailments, we continue to promote fear. This girl was fearful for not telling me. She was so afraid. Did I sack her? Here's what happened. So she's supposed to be in hospital, right? By the time I got home, her sister had called and said, oh, can we please go to the general hospital in Shangotedo? I said, why would you want to do that? I didn't even know there was one there. Pardon my ignorance. She said, no, it's near my house. I'm like, okay, no problem. By the way, this had been going on for like 4 or 5 hours at the time. I said, no problem. She said, I needed to tell the boat that they can redirect. I said, boat, take them to the one in Shangotedo. We leave it. I'm expecting to get a call from them the next day. I'm sitting in my living room and this girl turns up. She turns up and I thought I'd seen a ghost. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in hospital. We didn't go to the hospital, ma. That's when I sacked her. Because that's where a sense of responsibility comes in. That's where I will hold somebody responsible. And as I explained to her, had you come to me and told me when you started, and she'd only been with me for 10 days, by the way, had you told me that you had epilepsy, it's not something that I'm afraid of. Absolutely not. The first thing I would have said is, we need to see a doctor, make sure you're on the right medication, continue with your work. What are you doing? It's only me. What are you going to do? Breastfeed me? You're not going to breastfeed me. How much am I eating, Seth? But she didn't tell me that, again, from fear. She didn't tell me that, again, from poverty, because she's the breadwinner. And she came to Lagos to earn money for her family. They are a dirt poor family. But by not telling me, by not making me aware, she's taking that decision, number one, away from me to decide whether to employ her. But even more so is she's endangered herself and those of us in the house with her. Because the worst that could have happened is she would have fallen on that oil, the house would have caught fire, boom, there you go. Or had she fallen in the bath when she was trying to get in the bath and she collapsed, she had the fit in her bathroom. Had she died, her mother would have blamed me because nobody in Lagos that knew her knew she had epilepsy. So I'm saying to you, please, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. First of all, get expert medical help. And guess what? In Nigeria, our doctors are actually very good at treating epilepsy, so I've learned, because it's a relatively common ailment. So what is there to be afraid of? We just need to ensure that the people that we know, our loved ones, our workers, whoever we know that suffers from it, and if it's you that's listening, make sure you get yourself to the nearest general hospital and see a neurologist. Like my son said to her, you cannot look after anybody until you look after yourself, because you must come first. And so please, if you know anybody at all, and you can help them, the one thing you can say to them is go and see a neurologist, because it doesn't have to kill. It doesn't have to endanger their lives. Neither should it endanger the lives of those they're working for or those around them. It doesn't have to be like that. They can get a job, they can live, they can have a relatively normal life as long as they are on medication. That's my story. That's why I wasn't here last week. That's why my wonderful Zainab had to step in for me. And that's why you must all thank her. Thank her for stepping in, because it was a pretty serious situation. And she was like, Ma, I said, I'm not coming. I can't come. I'm in the hospital. I have to deal with this. I'm not going to give you my maid's name, but please remember her in your prayers, even though she's no longer working for me. I hope she has my number, and I hope she's able to call me one day to tell me I'm doing much better. I did go to the neurologist. If you suffer from epilepsy, go and get expert medical care. There is nothing at all. It could happen to anybody. Sometimes it happens halfway through one's lives. It could happen to any one of us. Anybody. There is nothing to fear in this world but fear itself. There is everything to gain from knowledge, and even more to gain from expert advice and medical help. I'm going to be on holiday next Friday. Yes, I need vacation. I'm going to be on holiday next Friday. So perhaps you'll be having Zainab again. Be kind to her. Be nice to her. She's shaking her head. Don't mind her. Should I fit in one more call? Let's end it with one of my callers. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Michael.
Hello, Michael.
I'm from Algeria.
You need to speak up and a little bit clearer, please. We're not hearing you properly.
Let me say, I am your friend.
Okay, thank you.
Celebrate you a lot.
I celebrate you too.
Most especially as a Lagosian.
Okay. Okay. Eko Wenjili.
Whenever the truth about Nigeria Information Service is the fact that I thought that it's all this our other people. But one of these is I just listened late and I had this logo. It's super. Put 10 of all of the services together.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. It's our 10th anniversary, so you must make sure you send us happy 10th anniversary. Let's try and fit in one more call quickly. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling from?
Thank you. I'm Leke. I'm calling you back.
Leke, you've called before. I need to try and give somebody else another chance. Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Now, Comrade Komoko from Water Farm.
Comrade, how are you, my comrade?
I want to ask you what is worrying my life.
What is worrying your life? Tell me.
What is worrying my life is shouting. Do you have shouting medicine? They say they shout too much. When I was in village 30 years ago, my mom go say, make a start for Ocean under bridge. They call my younger brother, his name is Tokankwe. They play ball well. So I go say, so Ocean under bridge, they call Tokankwe. So you can't give me cold voice. So do you have any medicine for shouting? I will listen for it too.
I would say take cold water. Omi tutu. Let's come on my call. Hello.
Yes.
Turn your radio down, please. Let's have a conversation.
Yes, what a wonderful story you just said.
Oh.
In fact, I learned a lot from it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Well done. God bless you.
God bless you too. God bless you too. Let's pick up more calls. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Omorige. I'm calling from Lagos Island.
Omorige, talk to me.
Yes, I want to know something about this epilepsy.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that my dad had it before he kicked the bucket.
Oh.
And now our last one,
Mm-hmm.
that is the one following me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my immediate junior brother
Mm-hmm.
is also having it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Is it hereditary?
It can be. It can be genetic. However, what I want you to do with immediate effect is to find a way to take him to the general hospital and demand to see a neurologist. I promise you won't regret it.
You know what?
A
He always
neurologist.
attack him at night. They always attack him at night.
You don't know why, and we may not know why. Get a neurologist to have a look at him. What they will do is they will examine his brain. They will tell you the kind of epilepsy he has, and they will give him the right medication. Don't waste any more time. That's the whole point of doing this show today. Omarige, thank you. Any more calls? My old guy is chasing me away. So that's it for me today, my fellow passengers. We didn't go jaga jiggy jaga. No, but we took a gentle ride. You know, some people who live somewhere in that place they call Abuja are busy hops, skipping, ditching, jumping from one party to the other. as if they're headless chicken. Whereas the rest of us, us real people, we stay focused on what's important. And that's you. And that's what we do best on Nigeria Info. It's all about you. Until I'm back from my holiday, be kind to Zainab. She's saying no. Don't mind her. Be kind to Zainab. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay blessed. Stay Lagos. Stay listening. Bye-bye.
Every day. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.